Well, when we announced for governor, we said that we were going to go everywhere. And we literally mean every part of this state we're going to visit. Because I believe if you're going to be governor of Florida, you need to be governor of all of Florida. And that requires that you get to know people in their corner of this very large state. I was born in Miami, Florida, graduated high school in Gainesville, Florida, went to college in Tallahassee, Florida, where I'm now mayor. So I've been through the exciting parts of this state, but now it's time to get out there and meet as many people as we possibly can, given the kind of campaign we're trying to run. Well, I tell you, the governor's mansion in this state is won by fewer than 1 percentage point difference between the Republican and the Democrat. And what that means is that every single vote in this state matters. We have to go everywhere and compete for every vote that might be available, including a little Democratic enclave in Sarasota, where you might have the ability to come into contact with voters, individuals who are certainly going to vote, and those folks, when they go to the polls, we want them to consider us.
How that plays into
well, it means a lot. I mean, I think about what was required to get me to the place of even going to college, right? Especially growing up in a family where no one went to college. In fact, I'm the first of my siblings to graduate from high school, and so to then do that, and then for my younger brother and younger sister to come behind me, finish high school, finish college, that means something. And so it does matter that you get to see yourself reflected in people, in your and businesses that you might patronize, in churches that you might attend, and even in your politicians. You want to see that it's accessible and something you might be able to aspire to yourself. I mean, I think everyone matters, and if you're going to serve this state, you got to serve everybody in it. And even in places where you're not expected to win, the county is worth competing. This is not the Electoral College. The person who will win the governor's mansion will get one more vote than the next person, right? And so, not just for that reason, but I also think these are real special parts of our state. A lot of important communities and community members, including some of the folks that we'll see here this evening. I want them to know that their experiences and their stories matter to me as we even start to cultivate what our agenda is going to be for this state and for after we're elected. And so you got to talk to people in order to understand that.
And while you're on that subject, I'm very curious to hear about how mental health is going to play into your agenda. For this reason, because you're the mayor of Tallahassee, down here in Sarasota, we've been dealing with the homeless situation.
Yes.
And we've turned to Rick Green.
Oh, yeah.
And Rick has come down here.
That's right. I've heard.
So I'm curious to hear, you kind of straddle that as both a candidate and someone who's done.
For sure. Well, I tell you, we have, it's a real big challenge, and it's probably not just one in our part of the state. You recognize that it's one that's unique to this area as well, but homelessness and housing affordability really intersects all communities. Within the homeless population, though, you've got something real unique. We oftentimes treat homelessness with just housing for folks, rather than there are more systemic problems that sit beneath just not having a home. And much of that has to do with substance abuse. It has to do with mental health. It has to do with folks falling on hard times as well. But if we're treating mental illness by just giving you a bed and never treating you for what the core symptom and problem is, then you're going to find yourself in a cycle repeatedly. And we want to disrupt that. We tried in Tallahassee to bring together both the public and the private sector to create a much more full-service facility where we are meeting people where their needs are. So yes, housing, and yes, food and shelter, and a safe and secure place and environment, but also counseling, and also job training, and also opportunities to get access to the educational training that you need to land a job, and a job that you can compete and make a way for yourself and for your family. So it's all those things, and we try to model that in our work. But I will say, you all have also modeled something real special, which is you've made a really early investment in high-quality early childhood education. We know that 90% of brain development happens in human beings between the ages of 0 and 5. That roughly half our kids are beginning kindergarten in this state not ready to learn. About 40% of them are not reading on grade level by 3rd grade. And then we know what happens at that point. prison bed predictions. Graduation rate becomes an issue at that time. And so these are really important and critical issues, and we can learn from what y'all are doing here in Sarasota. Maybe we can exchange what we're doing in Tallahassee, but we're also going to pick and choose and learn from other parts of this state, because good ideas should be scalable. If it's a good idea that works, whether it's addressing homelessness or educating our children at the earliest possible age, we should be able to scale that so that the entire state gets the benefit.